Hey y'all, welcome to episode 3 of Testimony Tuesday. I almost lost my train of thought there. So one thing I want to let y'all know is that when I do Testimony Tuesdays, this is not rehearsed, this is not premeditated. I literally force myself to press play on the camera and talk to y'all straight from my heart, straight from whatever it is that God is giving me, y'all. So it's not always going to be perfect. This is a hard thing for me to do. It's a stretch because I don't like hearing myself speak. I don't like talking into the camera. I love my little cute reels and hauls and all that stuff, but talking like into a camera is not really my thing. But guess what? I want to glorify God, and I want to bring glory and awareness to his goodness and grace and mercy and all that he's done in my life. So basically, if you've been following Testimony Tuesdays, you guys have already heard about how God fully funded my children's Christmas. You've heard about how God took care of me in the most unimaginable ways since becoming a widow, losing my husband, being a single mom of 4, right? So this episode, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how God took care of me for a whole year after I literally prayed to have a year off from working, thinking about money, thinking about business, anything like that. I just wanted a year to grieve, feel my feelings, get my kids acclimated, and just figure out life. And God did just that. So, in the previous videos, I told you guys about the $10,000 from a stranger. I told you guys about the fully funded Christmas from my neighbors and the school that my husband got into the accident at. So now I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about just another miraculous thing that God just did that was just crazy. So, like I told you guys before, I left my job, right? Let me tell you a little bit about that and how this played into me being taken care of for the whole year. So with my job, I was having a very hard time being a mother of 4, being a wife, being a homemaker, and being an employee, right? It was really hard on me. It was really draining. It was really taxing, really bad. Y'all, there was times where I was so drained and tired. I was literally, like, my head was literally hitting the steering wheel, falling asleep on one of the most dangerous highways in the world, 285. I would be having to wake up at 4 a.m., get my kids dressed, get them to daycare so I can get to work at 4 a.m., come home, cook, clean, tend to the house, tend to my husband, tend to my kids, get my kids to sleep, literally do it all over again at 4 a.m. No time for myself, no time to take care of my body, no time to rest, none of it. So I was experiencing major burnout to the point where I literally was falling asleep on the highway, literally head hitting the steering wheel sleep. That's how bad it was. And I'm carrying my kids. So this quickly became unacceptable to me. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. The last straw for me was I literally drove to work. This is not an exaggeration, y'all. I drove to work and to drop off my kids at daycare with no shoes on. And I know that sounds like, okay, who cares? That's funny. That's stupid. No, I was that exhausted. I was that tired. I was that incoherent, that sleep deprived, to the point where I didn't even know I had shoes on, driving on 285, rushing to drop off my kids, rushing to get to work. And at that point, I was like, Nina, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue to burn yourself out until the point that your kids don't have a mother? Or are you going to do something about it? So that's when I talked to my husband. My husband's like, okay, we just got this house, but it's okay. Just I'll handle it, whatever. So that's how I ended up deciding to leave my job. Now, in me trying to leave my job, at the job that I was at, I was a high performer. I was getting all kinds of awards and rankings and all that stuff, right? So when I tried to put my 2 weeks in, the manager, I'm just going to say district manager. I don't want to say the exact name of the manager because then you're going to know my job. But basically the district manager literally told me, He was like, I'm not accepting this resignation. He was like, I'm throwing it in the trash. You have so much potential. You are great. We need you. I'm not accepting your resignation. What you can do though is you can take a break. So he was like, I'm going to give you a break. You can go on a leave and then you can come back when things are better. And at first I got so offended by that because I was like, excuse me, like you're not accepting my resignation. I'm telling you I can't do something and you're literally telling me that no. That's how I took it at first. And so I called my brother and I told my brother, and my brother's like, well, he was like, you don't really have anything to lose. I know you want to quit and kind of just pull the plug on everything, but if they're giving you a break, which essentially you're still not coming to work, I don't see what the issue is, right? So I talked to my husband about it too. He was like, I mean, the fact still remains. If they want to give you a leave, that's cool, but the fact still remains, you're not coming back, right? So that was that, right? Y'all, this is where the miracle comes in. So tell me why within that leave that I took the leave in August, my husband passed away in October, within a couple months of me taking the leave. Y'all, this is where the miracle comes in. From me not technically being from me not quitting, I still had all my benefits. I still had all my life insurance. I still had all the spousal support, accidental death and dismemberment, all that stuff. I still had it. Why? Because God saw what was going to happen, even though I couldn't see it. I was like, I'm quitting my job. I'm not putting my life on the line. I'm tired. I'm burnt out. God was like, pump your brakes, because you don't know what's coming ahead of you. And that district manager who was like, just go take a break and then come back, he didn't know what he was doing either. God was using him too. So long story short, where I would have been completely without because I quit my job, God saw fit to go ahead of me and make all the crooked places straight and use my district manager to retain my job and just give me a leave. So guess what happened? I got paid out all my benefits. I got paid out my life insurance. I got paid out my death benefit and all the things that I wouldn't have gotten if I just pulled the plug like I wanted to and quit my job. And I ended up getting life insurance. I ended up getting support and resources that I needed to carry me out through exactly a year of no working, y'all. You're not going to tell me God is not good. You're not going to tell me God doesn't look after us even when we don't even understand what we're doing or why, or what's the rhyme or reason for why things are happening the way they were happening. In that moment, I felt disrespected by my district manager because I felt like he was invalidating how painful it was for me to balance working, being a mother for a wife, a this, a that. But God was using him in that moment, and it turned around and blessed me. And y'all, it's just amazing. Like, even jogging my memory and thinking back on all the things that God has done within this very tough time in my life, I can't do nothing but just feel immense joy and happiness and peace. Like, God really knows what he's doing. Even in your dark times, even when it doesn't make sense, even when it hurts, even when it's painful, God knows what he's doing. And trust him. Trust him. Trust him. Put all your hope in him. Trust him because he knows what he's doing. And I pray that through me sharing my stories, my testimonies and stuff, that you guys can see that too. So stay tuned for part 4. I hope this blessed you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next Tuesday.